call everything to order here for the meeting today. And if everyone would stand, and we'll have the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're going to skip our prayer this morning since the good Father couldn't be here unless somebody wants to give it. No volunteers, so we'll skip it for this meeting. May 20th of 2025, we had minutes taken and they were posted. And we need a motion to approve the minutes from May 20th, 25. Second? Motion and second. All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. The next item is the nominating committee. Joan has advised me that she no longer wants to be on it. I didn't get a chance, Marlene, to get to you or to Mary Townsley, but I will, to see if you want to continue on the nominating committee. If not, then we will have to appoint two people, or if anybody is interested in being on the nominating committee. Right now I just have one vacancy, and then we'll check with the other two. But this year, the president, vice president, and treasurer can serve another 2 years. The secretary is finished. Discussion has been had about possibly changing the bylaws to offset the two, the president and vice president and the treasurer and secretary being in 1 year apart, so that we're not constantly changing all four over. But we'll have more discussion on that, and it's open for discussion later. And if so, we have to change the Constitution in Article 5. And Article 5 reads, at the last regular meeting in each calendar year, elections may be held to fill the following office if necessary: President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer. The terms of all officers, President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, shall be for a period of 2 calendar years. All officers are eligible to serve one additional 2-year term in their position if reelected. After leaving the office for a period of 1 year, the individual will again be eligible for office. So that's the Constitution, the two that we have to change if we're going to do anything about offsetting the officers. But we'll leave that for a little discussion later. Right now we'll have the treasurer's report.
Currently, the treasurer's report, the total number of dollars in the total fund is $27,885. The breakdown is the general fund for FLRA is $5,078. The staff appreciation fund is $16,577. The train club is $482. The Swan Fund is $482. The Garden Club Fund is $937, for a total of $27,885. The important one here is the Staff Appreciation Fund. We close that out at the end of November so that we can get the check to Garden Spot so it gets in the payroll system. So right now we have, like I said, $16,577. Last year the balance that we had, that we distributed, was $57,100, and that went to distributed to 220 people. So as you can see, we have quite a ways to go if we want to just meet what we gave last year. If anyone have any questions regarding the Staff Appreciation Fund? I think there was a memo in your bill last month for explaining more about the Appreciation Fund and what it covers. And we'll probably send out another one probably in October just to remind everybody where we stand. So, go ahead. Pardon? Is it tax deductible? No, it is not. Yes. Are there any guidelines for who gets? Right now, only employees from Frederick Living gets any funds from it. None of the contractors like Sodexo and those. Are there any guidelines for that? No, as long as they're here at the close of the year, which would be like at the end of November, they're eligible to share equally. Staff included, yes.
That was voted on last year. Unless we're changing something, you know, but yes, as of right now, staff is included.
Everybody have their tape recorder turned off? Legally, it is not tax deductible. Many people, however, have deducted it successfully off of their income tax. Simply, it's not usually a question because of the fact that most of us do not have property, and therefore we don't get to the point where we can individually account for tax-deductible contributions. However, under the Big Beautiful Bill, it's my understanding, and they still haven't published it all, but it is my understanding that you will have, I believe it's $2,000 per individual. So if it's a couple, it's $4,000 that you can take as a tax-deductible deduction, even if you're taking the general allowance for deductions. The unofficial ruling is the reason we can't take it is we are not a 501c3. We're not anything. FLRA, we're a subset of Frederick Living Mennonite facilities. If you were to write a check to Frederick Living and give it to our treasurer, he would deposit it and have no difficulty. Frederick Living is a 501c3 organization. So I leave your imagination as to whether or not you do it or don't do it, and I didn't say a thing, but I'd give it some consideration.
Could I have Leroy clarify, did you say an employee has to be here in November in order to get?
Yes.
So does that mean all these young people that have worked here all year but are now going back to school will get nothing?
Well, if they're not on the payroll system at that time, that's correct.
Ooh.
But remember, what you don't realize, and I've talked to them about this because I had the job for quite a while, they cannot be working, but stay on the payroll. Many of them do, and that's why you'll see some of the old timers like Ethan, who's going to college. He comes in at least twice during the month of December. He's on the payroll. He gets the contribution. The people upstairs in finance have addressed that.
Anybody else?
Leroy, what's the train club amount, please?
The train club amount is $4,810.25.
Okay, I wanted to clarify because that's not what you said initially. I was
Oh.
wondering what happened to the $4,000. All right,
Sorry,
that's okay. Thank you very much.
sure.
And here I had a good vacation, you know. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to go through some of the dining things that we had at the meeting yesterday. The dining people said that they're going to keep the popular items from the difference of sales on the menus, and they're going to start getting rid of some of the ones that nobody shows up to purchase. There was complaint of salt in the food. The one chef that was there said that he has had the soup and thought it needed a touch of salt, although someone complained about the salty soup. Sugar-free whipping topping is very hard on the Jell-O, and they requested for Jell-O without topping. There was the normal complaint of running out of food, staff leaving, and somebody made a comment that the aged people don't care what they eat. But anyway, that was one of the complaints. Some of the other things were that the speech of some of the employees was concerning, and that staffing is working on changing the attitude of some of the people. Menu changes, they're working on the fall and winter menus. Complaint of slicing of the ham and turkey, that some were getting bigger portions than others were getting, and there were slices, although you can always ask for a second slice if you don't get a big enough slice. So there was no consistency as they were slicing them. Hershey ice cream will be here again on, they're trying to work for September the 29th. They're changing the coffee to a fresh brew type of coffee. It ups the coffee from 25 cents to 30 cents a cup. But they'll notify us when the change occurs, and then for a while they're going to take comments on it. Within 2 months, we drink 5,000 cups of coffee. That's what the vendor said. We had a complaint that why doesn't the soda in the machine out there, why isn't that free if coffee is free and so forth? So they're working on that. They're looking at it. Some of the meals it comes free and others it doesn't. So they're looking at the concept of that. The chef's dinner is going to continue. We have 2 substitute chefs that are now presently in the kitchen, and they will be there until they hire new chefs, and then they will be there to train them. Reservations and calls to the reception have not been put together yet to do. The menu will be published weekly. And that was about it. if any of the other people were here. These were my notes, so is there any other comments?
They also promised not to have fish and liver the same time again. I didn't think that was a good idea. The comment that was made to my husband and I concerning the healthy food, we were told by a former employee that we were outliers because our concern with food is connected to our health and our well-being. And we were told that that is not true. That most of the people here, because of the age group we're in, will eat anything they want to, healthy or not. I did not agree with that, and I think most people at the meeting yesterday did not agree. And the two chefs that were here, they said they don't agree with that. They do realize that food is connected to health, so forget that, they said. And I'm sure we all feel like we want to be as healthy as we can and independent for as long as we can. So I'm encouraged that the staff now is dedicated to healthy food, healthy meals, and they're going to try to make the vegetables better.
Anyone else have comment?
I'm just wondering if there were any suggestions as to what people would like to have, because I know I made a couple.
Make the suggestions through the suggestion box,
Okay.
but no, we didn't.
Oh, I see.
It was put out to the rest of the public, you know, that you can make suggestions all the time. They have the suggestion box,
Right.
they have the other ones. They consider those. And there were sheets that were given to us that, you know, they've
Yeah.
received some, but they didn't disclose as to what they were and so forth. Just that they were putting menus together.
Okay, fine, thanks.
I just had a question about the coffee. Does that mean the coffee we're going to get charged in the dining room, or the free coffee out here goes? Oh, okay, so they're still going to have free coffee out here? Still going to be coffee. So I can still be awake, okay.
It's just, that was the charge. They upped the charge a nickel to them, and they're starting in the rotunda. That'll be the first place that the coffee will be.
Is there any way that the fireside can be opened up to the general public when there's only 4 people in there for a chef's dinner?
Probably not, because they're paying a different price than you are. So, you know, they're paying for the upgrade or whatever. That would be my guess. We complained because there was a complaint that the one day that it was closed, that people had a very hard time getting seats in the other locations. So they said they're working on it.
There's not many restaurants you go to where you're
True. But if they change the menu, maybe they'll get more, you know? Anyone else have any comments? Okay, let me go up here. Moving right along, we're going to have Cheryl introduce the new people and give some comment.
I like coming after the food committee because I have nothing but good news to tell you. We have some more fine people that have moved in. I'm going to give you more names, though, than bodies today because several of them had other commitments. And just a reminder for the people whose names I call that I do have something for you. So make sure you see me before you leave. The rest of you, no, sorry. All right. We have Rick Patton in the Meadows. Rick's back there. Yay, Rick. Now wait, where did the sister? Yeah, I did. Where are the sisters? No, they're, oh, there they are in the back. Ladies, I couldn't see you. Doris Habernacher and Betty Taylor live in the Meadows. Back there. Ladies, just wave your hands. Okay. And make sure you see me. And oh, Rick lives in the Meadows too. I keep forgetting to tell. Jim and Judy Trout, they're in the villas. Now, those are all the present bodies. We also have 3 other groups that could not be here today. Elwood and Catherine Chainley, they're in Oak Tree. Bob and Carolyn Geisinger, they're in Oak Tree. And Ralph and Carol Boss are in Dogwood. So those are all the newcomers for now. Please say hi to them when you see them. They're all very nice people. Oh, here you go.
Thank you and welcome. I'm on my way.
I know some people probably remember me, but anyway, I'm Sam Snyder. I'm not live in Magnolia. And we have a new resident in Magnolia now by the name of Irene Elliott. Here she is, brand new routine. Incidentally, she's a little bit older than I am. But anyway, she's a wonderful new resident.
Well, thank you and welcome. Lynn, you're up on the book club.
I know I didn't. Our book club meets on the second Friday of every month. I do go up to the library, get copies of the books for everyone, and we get together in the art room and meet and discuss the book and all kinds of crazy things that might get our attention. Okay, he's flashing me and saying that I'm doing charity crafts. We have a group that meets the second and the fourth Wednesday. It's on the calendar and it just says crafts. We've given ourselves a name because we do make crafts, not really for ourselves, but to give away to others. We've given things to housekeeping, we've given things to maintenance, we've given things to our local fire company. This month, next Wednesday, we're going to be making something for our trick-or-treaters and possibly something that would be on the sale item for the September open house. And we try to get something together to sell for the Christmas Village. So we really enjoy our time together. You don't have to be a super duper crafter. I mean, it's cutting ribbon, cutting squares of tissue paper, making a bow, something very simple, but our group has really grown and we like to keep everybody busy. So if you would like to come and join us, we would welcome you. Do you want me to do the trip committee while I'm up here? While I'm up here. I'm also on the trip committee. Sharon, Dottie Goffer, Donna Welder, and myself do the trip committee. And I thought this month it would be fun to say why I do not want to go on a trip with Frederick Living, taking an opposite approach. These are all the excuses we hear from everybody. It's expensive. Well, it does cost money, $5 or $2, depending on how far we go. But our committee works very hard to get all the discounts we can, and the trip that we're going on in December to the American Music Theater literally is half the price of Perkiomen Tours. If you go with them, you'll be driving around on a bus for a while, picking up other people. Ours is door to door, and we're going to exactly the same place. People say, well, I don't know anybody. I don't want to go because I won't know anyone on the bus. Well, we all know each other because we're part of Frederick Living, and there's no greater way to meet people and to get to know people than to be on the bus and sit with them and enjoy lunch together or a tour together. We're going to the Regal Buffet August 28th, and we welcome one more person I think we have room for. Sounds like fun, but I'll go the next time. Well, we don't always go a next time. Sometimes it's a once and done event. There are some special places we like to go and visit again. The Bird in Hand Theater is one of those places, and we're going in September. And if you've not been to the Bird in Hand Theater to taste the delicious food on the buffet and then see the show, it really is a treat, and it's very inexpensive. I've never been to this place before. Well, sometimes we haven't been to the place before, and we just go on adventures. We've had a great success in enjoying the places we've been. Our committee works very, very hard to try to find places that would be of interest to everybody. We're going to September Farms on September 10th. No one has really been there before, but we've gotten some good reports from other people. So hopefully you'll come and join us on that trip, and we're going to lunch also. People say, well, I've toured these places many times in the past. Well, do you really remember them? Do you know what they're like? How many years ago did you go? We're going to Ephrata Cloisters on November 6th and the Pearl Buck House on October 9th. And we really try to find places that are accessible, not a whole lot of walking, no stairs. Try to make accommodations for the folks here. On October 24th, we're going to the American Treasures Museum. And if you've not ever been there before, it's really a unique place. You ride around in a little car and tour the museum by car. Now, obviously, you have to walk in and walk out, but it is a fun place, a feast for your eyes, and it's a great place to visit. And if you've not been there before, we went before, and we're making an exception to go a second time, so I hope people sign up. And of course, we're going to lunch. People say, well, I don't like to be away from Frederick for very long. Well, on November 20th, we're going to the Olive Garden, and it's not particularly far from here, and everybody loves their salad and breadsticks. Who can resist? People say, I don't like to go out in the daytime. Is there anything available for the evening? Well, people say I don't drive at night. Well, our bus will drive at night, and we're going December 7th to hear the Solderton Alumni Men's Chorus. This is Pastor O'Hara's group with a live organ, and those of us who went last year thoroughly enjoyed the program, and this is one you don't want to miss. I have to sign up in advance. Well, yeah, you kind of do. Check the book frequently because Kathy puts the papers in periodically. We don't exactly know when she does it, so you kind of just have to keep checking. But they are there for you to sign up. Occasionally something happens and you can't go. And if it's something we have not purchased tickets for before, we probably can just cross you off. But if we've purchased the tickets already, you are responsible for either paying for the ticket or finding someone else to go in your place. And we started a wait list on some of the trips, so that will help a little bit. So now that I've given you all the excuses why you shouldn't go, what are you waiting for? I hope you do join us because we have a really good time on our trips. We try to do 2 a month. I will post the paper with the dates on the bulletin board by Freddy's, and that's where you sign up in the trip book. I think I'm done.
Good, thank you. All right, Diane couldn't be here today, but she gave me a report. On the raised bed garden, The beautiful flower bouquets in Freddy's are not from the raised bed flower garden team provided. They were provided by Betsy Nader for a meeting of depositors last week. I've forwarded all the compliments I've received to her. The first bouquets from the raised bed garden by the vegetable garden were delivered to Cedarwood this month. If you're interested in helping the raised bed garden team in our efforts to provide flowers for Cedarwood, please reach out to Diana. Send a text or drop a note. And then for connections, she said, contributions are always appreciated. Just pop them in an envelope and send them to Diana, and they'll be in one of the connections. So those are the two reports from Diana, and it's on the raised bed garden and the connection. And next we have Judy, who has library.
Bingo. Good afternoon. Today I am not going to explain what we do in the library every time, but I want to show you our list. We keep an Excel spreadsheet list of 58 pages of all the books that we have processed here. If you're looking for a book by a specific author, I have it, and I have it. It will be on my list. It will have the name of the author, the name of the book, and if it's been borrowed, there's a mark. It's been tracked. So far since we've started doing this, we have processed over 1,700 books. I deserve a medal. And so does Peggy. And the other thing is that we have bingo the first and third Saturdays of the month. It doesn't cost anything. We start at 6:30. We play for an hour. And if you'd like to join us, please do. But please don't walk in at 6:29. Come a little earlier. Thank you.
And next on our list is Dottie, who is away on vacation, and she left a note. She said, all is quiet with the pet committee, nothing new to report. I am away this week. Sorry I won't be able to attend. Regards, Dottie. And next then we have the railroad.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. As far as the Railroad Club goes, we are working on getting the platform moved from the storage room to down to the Oak Tree basement. I spoke to our director of campus operations on Monday, and he said it might be this Thursday. Then again, it might not be this Thursday. But we can't do anything with the trains until they're moved down there. So we'll keep that in mind, please, and might be looking for some help, especially someone who can get down underneath the platform. We'd greatly appreciate that. As far as also the movies, we show movies the second and fourth Saturday of every month, 6:30. We try to keep the movies to about 2 hours. And as far as miniature golf, we play Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. At the miniature golf course outside. If you go into Freddy's, it's on the right there. Come down, play along. Clubs and balls are provided. That's a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
And next on our list is the garden. So I got to go over here because Ron's the only one here.
Yeah, I have no authority to speak on this. Bruce is away. Okay, the only thing I can say is not happily is we've been invaded again by the groundhogs. So that's not good news.
I don't know, between the deer, the rabbits, and the groundhogs, you guys are having a battle this year. Okay, so the last on my list here is Betty has some things that she would like to talk to you about.
Getting old. Howdy. Remember that? Okay. I'd like to talk to all of you about the show that we just had at Garden Spot. And I'm sure you're all aware that we got standing ovations from like 180 people. They rolled, they stomped their feet, and yelled and whistled and whatever. They had a really good time, and I think they're probably going to invite us back. In fact, they also recommended that we take the show on the road to the Lutheran home up in wherever. But I think we're deciding not to do that. One of the things I wanted to mention to you was that the people who are involved with the variety show, myself and two other folks, one is Jeannie Ferry and the other one is Dottie. Where is Dottie? She's not here. Okay. Oh, come on up. Oh, no, she's not coming up. She's afraid. We've decided that I need some help with this sucker, so we've asked two other people to join in and help. And the one thing that we've decided to do is I want everyone to put on their thinking caps. And when you're watching television at night and are listening to the radio or going to a movie or just sitting listening to music, you get this flash in your head and said, that is really cool. That's funny. We could probably do that at the variety show. So I want you to say, okay, I'm going to talk to either Jeannie or Dottie or me, and we're going to get all of us together and we're going to come up with skits and vocals and whatever we can to make the show a success. But this way, you guys are getting involved, and it's not always coming from my warped brain. So we need your help to give us some ideas for the show. The other thing is, beside the 3 people helping all together, we're going to an every other year schedule. So we will not have one this coming April, but April of 2027, we will have our next show. And we probably will have things ready by that time, around the holidays, so that we will be prepared for the show at that point. Again, most things I want to ask you folks is for input from you. If you have an idea, if you just think of something and you want to just run it by somebody, that's the way we make it happen. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Well, yeah, I guess. We had talked about a real quick down and dirty. We had said maybe the theme this year could be Broadway, which is a huge, huge theme, because there's so many songs, so many skits, so many people who have been on Broadway, and so many people who have probably been to Broadway who have fond memories and can come up with some ideas. I don't want to have to come up with ideas again. I'm out. Okay? I'm getting old. Okay? I look forward to everybody calling, singing, stopping me in the hall, and Dottie also, and Jeannie also, and we're going to get this show ready for next time. Thank you.
And the Statler brothers were a big hit up in Lancaster Garden Spot, as was some of the other acts. The floor is open now if anybody has anything for the association. So if you have something that you would like to tell everybody about, or any other type of information, just raise your hand and I'll let you have the mic. Okay, we'll move on then. Frederick Living Open House is September the 19th, and if you'd like to be involved in that, contact the marketing department, Lisa, up here, and for your volunteer, or go to the volunteer coordinator. Christmas Village, December 6th, is contact Emily to join the planning committee, if you want to do that. Our next meeting is November the 18th at 1:30. That will be when anyone that wants to run for one of these offices, either contact me right now or contact one of the officers. And once we get the nominating committee in place, we'll put your name up on that. And I guess there's 3 open spots that the current administration can run for, and the 4th one is Alice. So we need a secretary, because Alice has been here, I think, 3 years or 3 terms. So that's another issue. So somebody that can take notes, provide them out, go to get them copied and so forth and distribute them. That's the type of person, some secretarial position that somebody has held that can do that. Now I'll go up here and ask the officers if they have anything.
I hate to bring it up, but yeah, the secretary and the treasurer, both of them are jobs that require a substantial amount of time, computer savvy, and the ability to work with both spreadsheets and word processing. Quite frankly, I haven't heard of anybody expressing a particular desire to be treasurer or to be secretary in the one position that we're potentially going to be without an officer if no one runs. And I don't think we can do that. We've all gotten spoiled by Alice doing such a great job and providing us with very detailed notes, providing us with lists of the different committees. If I know from the officer's standpoint, if we have a question of what happened last year or the year before, we'll ask Alice and she gives you the answer. We cannot afford for that office to go vacant. And under the Constitution, that possibility exists because at the end of a second two-year term, you are not eligible to run for at least one more year. I see a couple of alternatives, several of which requires a change to the Constitution and bylaws, which is why we have to talk about it this morning, because to make a change to the Constitution and bylaws, the president must notify everybody well in advance of a meeting to discuss that and a proposed vote. One solution would be to allow, in lieu of a qualified candidate, to allow the existing person to serve a third two-year term. Excuse me, but that would require a change in the Constitution and bylaws. The other way, kind of stretching our minds a little bit, that could work is to allow the president to appoint an interim secretary until the job could be filled. That, I do not believe, requires a change in the Constitution and bylaws. It would allow our current president or future presidents to say that, okay, I'm going to appoint Alice or John or Tom or Mary to be the interim secretary. Not the greatest idea because it's a lot of work just to get set up, am I correct? To take and run that office. So I'd like to solicit ideas from you all as FLRA. Lou? We don't know for sure, and she has not committed one way or the other. We could ask her husband, but he's not here either. She does. She does. And one of the disadvantages of being an old-timer, me, I can tell you we've had some periods of time when the secretaries have not helped FLRA a great deal. Alice has set the bar at the other end of the extreme, but what we need is somebody to take good notes, to act as the right-hand person to the president, kind of reminding him and pushing him up. You know, we said we were going to do so-and-so, and you need to do that this week. You know, to ride herd on the vice president and the treasurer to make sure that things get done. She also, that you don't see, she attends, of course, every executive committee meeting, keeps notes of all the at one time, we didn't have notes of the executive committee, and that, I mean, who's the governing body of FLRA? The executive committee. You all, when you sit as you are today, but otherwise, any major expenditure must be approved not by the officers, not by the president, but by the executive committee. So we need copies of all of that stuff. she keeps up with things such as if you have a request for funding, it goes to the treasurer, but she retains all the records. So my first question, is there anybody here who is going to volunteer to the nominating committee to be secretary for the next 2 years? Don't all hold your hands up at one time.
You can contact us.
You can contact us, but I think we need a bailout solution. Your thoughts individually on which way we should move. I see a couple kind of waving hands, but no hands up. Oh, come on. Somebody has to have an idea. Should we go and ask you as a group at the next FLRA meeting in November,
That's election.
to change the Constitution? Or should we ask the president to appoint an interim person? He can't appoint someone to fill the next 2 years because that would violate the Constitution as it's currently written. Lewis. That'll fix the cut in my left arm. What about the cut in my right arm when something else comes up? We've got a treasurer who, if no one else runs against him and beats him, will be in for 2 more years. At the end of that 2 years, I can tell you, I was one really happy guy when Leroy said he would run.
I think first we have to establish the nominating committee and let them go and see who's available, who's not. As far as changing the bylaws, how many are in favor of changing it so that 2 of the people up here are offset by the other 2? How many would be willing to do that? If I can see your hands raised. Okay, so for this meeting, it seems that we have the majority that are willing to offset the people here. So we can make that a ballot question, which would be given to you in November, and then we can vote on that to change that bylaw to do that. And then the second thing is, once we establish the committee, then we can find out who's willing to run or not run, and from that point, we can move forward.
On that basis, Mr. President, I would like to make a motion for discussion on the floor for you to appoint a bylaws committee with the single purpose of addressing the offsetting 2 of the 4 existing officers' positions so that they do not all come due at one time. You need that in order for that committee to recommend to the executive committee its approval, and for the secretary to then notify the residents that they will be asked to vote at the next meeting, which would take us off the hot spot.
I think we just need an executive committee meeting. They've already approved the fact that we can move to the executive committee.
You need to appoint a...
I can't appoint it until I find out if the existing one wants it back.
No, the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. To change the Constitution, you have to have a recommendation from the Constitution and Bylaws Committee to the Executive Committee to approve, and then to these folks to vote on. It's the way it's always been done.
Okay. You say so, but the last I heard, after we had the constitutional change, I may have to go back in the minutes and change the committee, because I think they all,
It can be the same committee if you just ask them to
well, we just
continue.
have to go find them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the motion is on the floor. A second?
Got Jim and,
Call the question. All in favor? It
those
passes.
opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, do we have anything else for the betterment of the community? Any squabbles, any hassles, anything that you want to bring up, feel free to do so. If not, I will take a motion to adjourn. Lou has a motion, Betty has a second. All those in favor? Those opposed? We are adjourned.